So hello and how are you? It's your girl Esther Joy coming at you with another video with love, light, joy, and peace. So if you, my friend, are one of the many people that love to emanate these qualities, then hit subscribe. I post daily. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about heart walls. Heart walls are a block that can be physically manifest, but generally speaking, they begin in a more mental or more spiritual plane. So we're going to be talking about all three aspects of a heart wall. We're going to talk about our mind, our body, and our soul, and how they are affected by a heart wall. And then we'll go over how we can remove a heart wall if we believe we have one. Okay, so heart walls are, the best way I can describe them is they are literally blocks that we subconsciously and unconsciously place on ourselves after a traumatic experience happens. We do this as a defense mechanism so we can protect our heart from being hurt. That is wonderful to know that we have this safety lock, but what it is also doing is it is locking us from reacting freely in ways that we so choose that can benefit us. Some symptoms of a heart lock could be that you have a crippling fear of anything. That could be a heart lock that has developed into what it is today from something that happened that was traumatizing in the past. Now, a lot of people, and I've talked to many people, I'm in college, and a lot of them will openly say, like, oh, my heart's broken, or, you know, girl, like, she not doing too hot. So a lot of people are aware that they have something's going on with their heart. They might not know that it is a heart block, but they just don't feel right. And that is their heart quite literally telling them, hey, I don't think this is how it's supposed to be, and that's great. So with a heart block, you might be blocking yourself off from your true potential. I say might, but that is what you are doing. You are blocking yourself off from your truest potential. And the only reason it is a block is because you want to go through that block and achieve whatever is on the other side. It might feel with a heart block that it is set in stone, and maybe it is, but who says we can't knock down stone? So when it comes to our mind, a heart block will appear and manifest itself in limiting beliefs. So maybe it will be, I'm not smart enough, or I can't do that, I can't do what I love because X, Y, and Z, or whatever thoughts that you have that show themselves as limiting thoughts that are, and you might not know it at first, but they are protecting you from doing certain actions or thinking certain thoughts. They will kind of protect you and hold you back from thinking, oh, I am a limitless being that can achieve whatever I put my mind to. Anything that is blocking you from that, anything that is taking your power away from you and is mindfully limiting you. It could be, a mindset. It could be certain thoughts that you are thinking. It could also be certain people that are telling you those thoughts, and possibly they might have something to do with your heart block. But for the sake of what we're going to be talking about, we're just going to be focusing on you, because you have the key to unlocking this block. So mentally, we may feel like there's something limiting us, or we might have thoughts of doubt and fear coming into our mind. Now, that's what happens mentally. We're going to talk about physically. So we talked about our mind, we're talking about our body now. Our body may tense up. It just tenses up, especially around the heart. You may feel a kind of like a dipping in the heart or pressure on your heart. That is a big sign that there's a heart block in there. It might happen when you're in certain situations. So paying attention to your body when you're in situations that may cause your heart block to trigger will really reveal to how your body is reacting. Your body can tell you so much. It is, your heart is connected to that. So by listening to your body, you will see the different kind of symptoms that you can have. You can have little twitches. I've seen people twitch. And you can have shortness of breath. That's a very common one. Overall, you'll feel very uncomfortable, very rigid. Like almost as if something else is there. Something else is fighting at you. So if you feel like your body is a little bit more tense than usual, then be aware of the surroundings, where you are, what is happening, how are you reacting, what are you thinking? And that can really reveal to you how, your body is reacting and how you can calm that down, So, okay, with our mind, we talked about those limiting beliefs. With our body, we talked about those rigid fears where you are literally tensing yourself up, and that's cutting off the energy from your body, so you're tensing up. So allowing yourself to relax if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you need to protect yourself. Generally speaking, you might feel defensive, and that is a sign of a heart block. A heart block is a form of defense, but it's not really something that is serving us, and it can be quite harmful to our health if we can't allow our energy to flow as it should. So getting back in touch with that, if you do feel a little tension, just take a deeper breath, and that will allow you to relax a little bit more. Now, we talked about our mind and our limited beliefs that may be surrounding our heart block. We talked about our body and how we might be defensive or rigid. Now we're going to be talking about our spirit, our soul, and that is, for me personally, where everything is, this is where it comes from. So our intuition will play a big role with this heart block. We as loving human beings, we as people on the earth that want to give love and want to, of course, receive love, having a heart block can hinder that, because it is like setting a wall and saying, I am not either worthy of love, or I don't deserve love from others, or whatever the heart block may be. So in your soul, you must realize that to some extent, you created this. And to some extent, you can create a freeing of this block. So when it comes to releasing our heart block, we must get in touch with our soul and our soul purpose, because this will just make it a lot easier for us to release the block. Now, if you're not sure what your purpose is, or you're not sure how it's tying into your purpose, then a great way to relieve this block is to simply say, for the betterment of all. And by asking for your block to be released for the betterment of all, you are kind of taking the pressure off of just yourself, and you're doing it for a more holistic and worthy approach. So you will get results and a release maybe faster than if it's not working, if you just ask by yourself. Anyways, we are going to be talking a little bit about kinesiology. We're going to do a little muscle testing, and you just need to use 2 fingers. I found this works easy when you're in a environment undisturbed, you're nice and relaxed, so you can really focus on that heart space. And simply using your right pointer finger to be the yes, and your left pointer finger to be the no, you can rest your fingers on your knees and just allow your fingers, and I'll do it up here so you can see, you can allow just that finger to rise a little bit or move for a yes, and your other one to move for a no. And you can ask, do I have a heart block? If you see a little movement or you feel more energy in your right side, then you know that's a yes. If you feel movement or you feel that energy in your left side, then you know that's a no. If you do have a heart block, it might be helpful to understand where that came from. So you could ask, is this heart block a product of childhood? And if it says no, then say, is this a heart block that, a product of teenage or adolescence or adulthood, and you can kind of zone in on the time period that this heart block was developed. You can also ask, like, did I create this heart block to protect myself? Did I create this heart block to protect others? Ultimately, you're just trying to understand, why would you set up a block? Because obviously your heart is it's a tender thing. So it will set up defenses if it feels like it is being threatened in any way. You have to, when you are releasing a block, you have to assure that it is safe, and it is safe. It is safe to let go of that block. It is safe to be in your highest potential. And it is safe to release these limiting ideas, these limiting fears, this idea that we have to defend for ourselves, this idea that we are not good enough as we are. All of these ideas can manifest themselves in limiting beliefs, in heart blocks. And I like to think of the heart almost as an onion. Sometimes you feel like you have finished one, but then you'll create another heart block. Being aware of when a traumatic experience happens, and it doesn't have to be extremely crazy. It could be something as little as someone didn't leave the door open for you, and you left the door open for them. Something like that. It's so small, so petty, but it can create, if you think about it and you really ponder on it, it could potentially create a heart block, because you are feeling in a way that you were attacked, or you had to protect yourself in some way. So a heart block, it can be created, of course, when we understand that it is there for our protection. We can take it down, seeing as it's not really serving us in the best way we see fit. So by simply acknowledging that you have any heart blocks and accepting them for as they are, understanding that they are there to teach you a lesson and allow you to learn and expand and grow, then it will be a lot easier for you to let go of those heart blocks and allow yourself to be free. To let go of a heart block, you can simply just state, with the intention that this will release your heart block, I acknowledge and accept my heart blocks. I acknowledge the lessons that they taught me. I allow them to be released fully and freely. I am now free, my heart is now open. And by saying something like that with the intention to release your heart block and to have that freedom once again, and to be free of those limiting, and to be free of having to be defensive, and to be free of those doubts and fears, you are stepping into your power, and you are quite literally saying to yourself and saying to your heart that I am no longer in need of being defended. I am no longer hurt by this. I can put down my walls now. It is okay. It is okay. And that is very powerful. It's very powerful. Of course, you can also ask, because we are sneaky like that, and it happens, you can ask if there are any hidden heart blocks. And if, using the finger technique, using muscle testing, then you can see if there are, then just repeat the same process, now acknowledging all of the hidden heart blocks, acknowledging all of the hidden limiting beliefs that you may not have been aware of, and being thankful for letting them come into your awareness now. Of course, you can ask yes or no questions if you wish to know more about how this block was developed, but ultimately we are just trying to release it. So what I found, once you release a heart block, it will naturally, whatever was causing that pain or discomfort or that reason for being closed off, sometimes it might come back into your life, but knowing this, it won't be it will be more of a final test to just see that you have actually indeed let go of whatever it was that was blocking you, and so you can truly step into your power. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you found any use and anything helpful, then hit that thumbs up so I know. Comment down below if you have any questions on this topic, or you would like another in-depth video of where I demonstrate how exactly I get rid of any heart blocks. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Of course, it's a pleasure to connect with you all, and I am so thankful that you watched the whole way through. So yes, thank you so much. I love you. Goodbye.